What's up, boyos?
Hello, boyos.
Welcome to whatever this is. On Thursday, it was the casting for the Mario Illumination movie was announced, and I decided that it would be fun to discuss this with Mr. Collider himself, Austin Allison.
Mr. Super Collider.
Mr. Super Collider. He's sort of my animation expert at this point.
Yeah, thanks.
Everything to do with animation, this man knows. So we were having a bit of a discourse on Twitter, and I thought it'd be fun to bring the audience into that discourse, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you posted the Lindsay Ellis video, which is a great video, about how
like celebrity voices in animated movies now.
Yeah. And I sort of commented, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, how come actors can't do voice acting? You know?
Oh, like they absolutely can. It's just to the degree and like intent that the movie is putting that forth.
I guess we should like list off like the characters.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah. And we'll I guess we'll discuss how we feel about it. I guess. So Mario is being played by Chris Pratt.
He's so cool.
That one is still the most bitter to me because I've just been thinking why.
Yeah, it's a very strange choice. This one to me is the one that really screams what you're saying, where basically, after the Genie's casting of Robin Williams, they casted Robin Williams because Robin Williams was an amazing voice actor.
Yeah.
And Robin Williams as the Genie, right? Like, he always said, I want to do this role, but I don't want you to use me as marketing for this movie.
Yeah, I'm doing this because the animators thought it was a good fit for the role and because he liked the medium.
Yeah, and it seems like the entire industry took that as, oh, look at how well Aladdin did. Let's just get these big all-star casts.
Yeah, and like really Shrek amplified that.
Yeah, that's true. Because with
like Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, and John Lithgow.
Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow.
Yeah, although I'll give Mike Myers a pass because he actually did some real ass voice acting.
It's not so much like the work or like the performances themselves. It's really just the decision making and the intent behind having such a great quantity of like big name stars and celebrities in your animated movie as a means to like sell the movie.
Don't you think like all movies sort of have that though? Like a little bit?
Yeah, but you don't really see like the example I want to do is like Inside Out. Inside Out had like Amy Poehler and like Mindy Kaling and like Bill Hader and everything, but they didn't line up all their trailers with like Amy Poehler, Mindy Kaling, like Bill Hader. Like the movie sold itself on, its medium, its animation, and like its story.
Yeah. You don't think this one is selling itself on being Mario though?
I mean, the first thing we're hearing about the movie is the voice cast.
I mean, I think the first thing we heard about this movie was it was being made by Illumination, and we all sort of went, "Oh no!"
Yeah, and like more so than DreamWorks now, that studio is more the perpetrators of like big walls of text of celebrity names to like get people to see it.
Oh yeah, did they make that Sing movie? Was that them?
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was them.
because
And that
that
movie
that
was
movie's
fucking
it's marketed the same way as like, look at all these stars.
yeah, and Sing was marketed like a blitzkrieg for a full year, like well before the movie came out. Just the trailers bombarding like
Well, and
every venue I saw them in.
the sequel, same
Yeah.
thing. It's been promoted for, and COVID does have a lot to do with that. But yeah, okay, moving on. A little
So
tangential.
how we feel about Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt,
He's so cool.
I don't like it. To me, I think you could have a famous dude, but I think for Mario specifically, you need an actual like, and I guess I don't know Chris Pratt's ethnicity, but I feel like you need an Italian guy. You know,
Yeah.
you need like a
And-
like I don't know, Danny DeVito, right? You know what I mean?
but like Chris Pratt is a cool guy. Like I like the stuff he's in, and for voice acting, he's like Lego Movie and
And he's
Onward, and he does good voice work, like for sure. But I can't really see any direction taken with him and like the kind of roles he's taken on previously as being applied to Mario in any way that we would recognize as Mario. Like this feels like they're trying to reinvent Mario's character, which, or like I know it's by the sounds of it, it's going to be like an origin movie of like how Mario and Luigi became like what we know them as. So it's like them as younger, but
that sounds
I don't
really
know.
lame.
Yeah, like
I'm not gonna lie.
like the whole mindset of casting Chris Pratt and the appeal of Chris Pratt is the kind of personality he is. Like kind of like Robin Williams with the Genie. Like they brought him onto the Genie because the Genie was a very matic, like animated, like personality. And that's what Robin Williams was like when they casted him. So Chris Pratt is a very like sweet and like comedic guy, like I guess. Like he has a very particular star image. And they're wanting to maintain that so that people could be like, oh, Chris Pratt, I liked him in Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm going to see Guardians of the Galaxy as Mario Galaxy. So
nice.
they're wanting to keep, it's sounding like they're wanting to keep more Chris Pratt into Mario than Mario into Mario.
Yeah, or Mario into Chris Pratt. Although, like, do we think that Chris Pratt is going to be like putting on a voice, or you think he's going to just be like
he did
Chris
say
Pratt as
he
Mario?
did say that he'll be putting on a voice.
It's a Mario. That's not the voice. You'll have to wait to hear the voice, but we've been working hard at it, and I'm really excited to announce that I'm going to be the voice of that video game that I dreamed about playing as a kid. Dreams come true.
So you think
But-
it's going to be like Chris Pratt being like, ah, Mamma Mia, ooh, like
Yeah, exactly.
I hope it's not that bad. Wahoo! Yeah, Chris Pratt to me is a weird choice. But I will say, like the Lego movie, he's good in the Lego movie, and it didn't feel like, because sometimes you see like a celebrity voice cast, like we were talking about, and I think the worst part about seeing a celebrity voice cast is like, oh, half of these people are going to be phoning it in.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say Chris Pratt in the Lego movie did not phone it in. Like he was actually pretty good, and he put on multiple voices and did a pretty good job. And I think that's kind of the difference for me with this Mario movie. And I'm not saying this movie's going to be good, because I actually think this movie's going to be trash. Like honestly, when I heard they were making a Mario movie, I was like, this is probably going to be like some sort of weird silent film, and I'm into that.
I was
right?
gonna be into
Like-
that too. And
like-
I thought for the longest time that Illumination of like the big Hollywood studios would be the best choice to do that, because Disney's not gonna fucking do it. Pixar's not gonna fucking do it. DreamWorks is going down the shitter right now. Like they could have done it. Now I'm seeing the direction Illumination's taking it. I think DreamWorks could have done it.
Yeah,
I wish Sony was doing it too, but I guess that'd be a conflict of interest because Sony has PlayStation. They don't want to be pushing Nintendo like branding.
Oh yeah, especially since Sony is currently pushing their other video game properties pretty hard with like Uncharted and The Last of Us, and to a certain degree Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but like with this voice cast though, to me it doesn't seem like it is a bunch of like big time celebrities, but it doesn't seem like a bunch of big time celebrities that would phone it in, if that makes sense. It doesn't
like
seem...
it's a lot of like talented like fun celebrities.
Well, that, and also a lot of them have prior voice acting experience. Like, I guess just to like continue it, like we've got Bowser as Jack Black, and of course Jack Black has like tons of voice acting experience, right?
Yeah, Shark Tale.
Was he in Shark Tale?
Yeah, he was Lenny the shark in Shark Tale. He was Robert De Niro's son.
Get a hold of yourself, man! This is no time to act crazy!
I have that. Dude, Robert De Niro, that would have been a good choice for Mario.
Hell, that would be a good choice for Bowser.
Ooh, that would have been. But like, you know, Jack Black has experience voice acting with Kung Fu Panda and all that stuff. And you know, Jack Black, you just put him in a booth and just tell him to go be Jack Black, and he'll be like, wow,
yeah.
You know.
Fucking dick!
But do you want Bowser to be Jack Black?
Kinda. That sounds fun, I guess. You know, like that sounds all right. And then we've got like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and Seth Rogen has and Seth Rogen has voice acting experience as well, although minimal.
Fucking Sausage Party.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Sausage Party. I was thinking Pumbaa, but yeah, he did do Sausage Party.
But he was also in Kung Fu Panda. But anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true. So like these people, and especially Keegan-Michael Key, where if you see a movie with a celebrity voice cast, Keegan-Michael Key is always in there. Every single
exactly.
time.
Like that's the thing. Like they're casting people that have done animation before and that are attractive names.
Right.
Like either they're casting them in ways that like don't really fit the character as we know them. So that means they're being written and being transformed into something that's not really how people recognize the characters.
Yeah, it's
because I will admit, for as shitty and as much as I hate the Lion King remake, I could see why they casted him as Pumbaa.
Right.
It's like, oh, Pumbaa is like a kind of a slacker, like fun-loving, like
stoner,
like lovable guy, like stoner guy. Like he just sits around eating grubs all the time and like no worries and everything. But
I still think that's good casting for Pumbaa. Like I think that's pretty solid casting.
Yeah, but as Donkey Kong, like, are they going to just have him do Seth Rogen shtick and everything?
I imagine
as Donkey Kong.
I imagine they will. I mean, I guess like first of all, I don't think Donkey Kong's going to be in the movie a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine Donkey Kong being like a big player in the Mario movie. But I imagine, because Donkey Kong kind of has that same, Donkey Kong and his homies, you know, they all kind of have that same sort of aesthetic where it's just sort of like they're a bunch of like gorillas and monkeys hanging out on this island eating bananas, doing their thing until this alligator shows up. Like that's sort of Donkey Kong, especially when I think about like Donkey Kong 64. So like when they said Seth Rogen, I was sort of like, yeah, I guess I could see that. Although like I could also see Donkey Kong having like a Chris Hemsworth type voice, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I don't know. I'm not in love with the voice cast. I think this movie's gonna be trash.
Yeah.
I will say I really like Charlie Day as Luigi. I think that's a pretty solid pick. I like Anya Taylor-Joy.
I like Charlie Day. I like Charlie Day for sure, but
Every day, Pepe's mail's getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I look in the mail, well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia. So I say to myself, I gotta find this guy. I gotta go up to his office. I gotta put his mail in the guy's goddamn hands. Otherwise, he's never gonna get it. He's gonna keep coming back down here. So I go up to Pepe's office, and what do I find out, man? What do I find out? There is no Pepe Sylvia. The man does not exist, okay? So I decided, oh, shit, buddy, I gotta dig a little deeper. There's no Pepe Sylvia. You gotta be kidding me. I got boxes full of Pepe.
I think Charlie Day could pull off the, like, you know, Luigi is famously like the very timid of the two brothers. You know, he's like, oh, he's scared. Oh, you know, Luigi's Mansion. You know, he goes in there and he's like, he's like fucking Shaggy. You know, like that's his thing.
Yeah.
So like I could see Charlie Day sort of be like, hey man, Mario, what are you doing? You know, like,
you brought up Scooby-Doo there. Like, my main answer, like my main thing with the cast is that when animated movies are cast like that and they're marketed like that, it's that the appeal for a lot of people is to like, oh, see these famous people that we know do like funny voices and have animation tied to them. Like, I thought the appeal of a Mario movie would be Mario, because like Mario and Nintendo are like insanely popular and have been for a long time. Like, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people in this movie as is going to be like, oh, I'm going to see that movie because Chris Pratt is Mario. There's going to be more people like, oh, I'm going to see it because it's a Mario movie. And
I think there will be some people, I think me included, that are like, I just kind of want to know what that looks like. And I hate to admit that the marketing is sort of working, because it's like, I am sort of curious, like, what does this movie look like and sound like? But like, I don't know, Illumination does not have a very good track record. So
I hate their Lorax movie.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that Grinch movie either.
Yeah. Like they played him too nice.
Yeah.
Like,
I
really.
thought the whole time I watched it, I was like, this is I feel like they're completely missing the point of what the Grinch is, you know.
But I brought up Scooby-Doo because last year Warner Brothers did Scoob. Like, Jesus Christ, Scoob. But they still had Frank Welker as Scooby-Doo, but the rest of the gang, like, they've had established voices for years. Like, Matthew Lillard has been doing Shaggy a lot since the live action movie, and like various like christened like legacy roles, like people that have taken on those roles in various cartoons and movies and stuff. Where for Scoob, they just threw on celebrities like Zac Efron as Fred and Amanda Seyfried, I think it was, as Daphne. And I don't.
Was it Will Forte as
Shaggy? Yeah, and they sounded not great. They didn't.
Yeah, his Shaggy
was bad. Yeah, Nick could have did a better Shaggy.
I don't understand, especially with Scoob, like why they wouldn't bring back Matthew Lillard, because I feel like Matthew Lillard, he is a star in his own right? Like, he is a big enough, he's as much of a draw as Will Forte, right?
Probably, yeah.
Like, Will Forte is not like the biggest, you know, guy in the world. So that one was always weird to me. I was like, why would you bring him in? Especially since like his Shaggy is just like not very good. It wasn't horrible or anything. It was just like not very good. It was one of the worst I've heard in a big budget Scooby-Doo movie. For
sure. It sounds like a guy making fun of a guy doing a Shaggy impression.
Yeah.
So like filter through a filter.
Yeah, I think who did they have play Fred?
Zac Efron.
Oh God, yeah, that is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess like they kind of did that with the live action one too, right?
Like for having celebrities, yeah.
Yeah. They kind of did that, but the casting was just so good, you could be mad at it.
Yeah, exactly. And like casting for live action is different than casting for sure, like, animated voices.
Yeah. Well, and even with animated voices, I think back to that new Avengers game that came out, right? And
the Square one.
The Square Enix one. And they're all voiced by voice actors, but they're not just voiced by voice actors. It's fucking Nolan North is Iron Man, Troy Baker is Captain America or something. I don't remember exactly who plays who. Ashley Birch. It's like they got the all-star voice cast, and it's like I don't really know if that like suits those characters though. It's like you just got that voice cast because of who they are, rather than that was who should play those characters. You know what I mean?
And that's another thing that, thinking back to Scoob and this Mario movie, is that a lot of Hollywood movies cast like big stars, like big celebrities and big actors, when there's people that spend their whole careers like being specifically voice actors that like have made a trade out of doing voices for animation and everything, when more often than not they bring in celebrities to do voices for animation because of their appeal that don't do it that well.
Yeah. I mean,
or at least don't do it as well as like someone who knows how to voice act would.
I get the idea of like, hiring maybe one or two big actors. Like, let's bring in like, Jack Black to play Bowser. That's fine. Let's bring in, even Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Let's use those two. But then everyone else should be voice actors. And I kind of agree with that, because it's like, I do understand like you kind of, especially these days, need a draw to like get people to actually go to the theater. But like, I don't think you need to fill up the entire roster with non-voice actors. Because like, I do think Aladdin's a great example, right? Where it's like, you had Robin Williams as Genie, but everyone else were voice actors.
Like an ideal situation would be like, Charles Martinet as Mario and Luigi, and like have your Anya Taylor-Johnson as Princess Peach, and maybe your Jack Black as Bowser.
Yeah, I don't think Charles Martinet could carry an entire movie as Mario. I really don't. I don't want to shit on the guy. I really don't think he could carry an entire movie on his back, dude.
Hello, it's me, Mario. Woohoo! Luigi number one. Ho ho! Everybody cheese my Luigi. See you again.
Really, really. You think he's?
It's what people are more used to.
He's acting off of. I mean, like that would have been more interesting, I guess.
I get what you're saying. Where like most of what Martinet has had to do as Mario is a lot of and a lot of let's go, like not a whole lot of dialogue.
Yeah, but that would have been an interesting movie premise as well, where it's almost like Scooby-Doo, where it's like everyone talks except for Mario just goes, "I'm Mario," like that could have been fun too. They could have done something like that, because that's how the games are, right? If you go back and play Sunshine, like Peach and all of them are talking, and Mario is just like Mario. Yeah. They could have done that, I guess, and that would have been.
He starts ceasing like, "I'm Mario, I'm Mario."
That Mario Sunshine has one of my favorite moments in any of the Mario games, where it's at the beginning of the game. They're on the plane going to Delphine Island, and or whatever it's called, and he's sitting on the plane next to Peach, and his eyes are hearts, and he's going because he's like swooning over Peach. It's really good. It's a really good moment. Did we mention the whole cast? I don't know. We got kind of carried away.
I don't think we did. We did see, but they did have Kevin Michael Richardson as whoever the fuck.
That's true.
Spike, because he's very much a voice actor.
Yeah.
Like very well seasoned voice actor.
Yeah, he played like Batman at one point, right?
Yeah. He was the principal on American Dad, and he was always great.
Morning, Stan. Here to inaugurate the new hydrant? Well, better christen it with my fire hose.
Principal Lewis!
Are you excited or terrified? I have to decide whether I'm joking or not.
Yeah, so like there is some voice actors. It would have been nice if you got, and like you could even get some of those higher profile voice actors. Like you could have gotten a John DiMaggio in there and thrown in Billy West, like, your usual voice actor suspects. You could have thrown some of them in there,
When they were doing a Goofy movie in the 90s, the idea was passed around that Goofy was going to be Steve Martin and not like the regular Goofy voice that everybody knows, because they didn't know if Goofy could stand a whole movie like that. But they kept him, and Goofy movie's great. And like the Winnie the Pooh 2011 theatrical movie, because like Winnie the Pooh had a set like cast of established voices that did those characters for years, and they filled out most of the cast of that movie. Like Jim Cummings was still Pooh and Tigger and everything, but they brought in like Craig Ferguson to be Owl, which there's more leeway you could do with Owl, because Owl has had like a lot more different voices over the years, so you can have him be your star. But then they did that live action Christopher Robin movie. They still had Jim Cummings as Pooh, but it was tossed around there. They changed it really late, but that Alan Tudyk was Tigger and not Jim Cummings, even though Jim Cummings was right there. So, but they changed it at the last minute. So like, I don't know. I just feel like they still should have kept a lot of like the established voices, at least for consistency and like familiarity.
It's weird because I feel like Alan Tudyk, is he like a huge draw? I guess he's in a lot of things, I suppose.
He's like in like he's a bit more of a recognizable name than like a lot of voice actors are.
I guess to me though, like I'm a big fan of voice actors. So like if I see Jim Cummings, I'm like, that's awesome, or
yeah.
Or
but
like even in that Winnie the Pooh movie, like for Rabbit, it was Tom Kenny, and I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah. It's Tom Kenny, like I was still excited about that,
But you're not gonna see. Sorry, you're not gonna see a lot of these like careered voice actors be like headliners for like a big budget animated movie.
Yeah, which it is a shame. Yeah. But
like Onward still had like a lot of voice actors, but it was like Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. Like, we know you love the MCU, so here's Star-Lord and Spider-Man as elf brothers.
That's true. I guess Chris Pratt did do that movie too. So like Chris Pratt does have like some experience doing voice acting at the very least.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like my main takeaway. Weird casting choices.
Like it's not so much something that I feel needs to stop. It's just something that I'm recognizing in a lot of like big animation studios outside of like Disney and Pixar, really pushing their marketing on their voice cast.
Yeah, but I feel like even Disney does that.
Like it really depends.
Because
like a lot of the early days for Toy Story, it was like Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Toy Story 2.
Yeah, exactly. And even I mean like Wreck-It Ralph was John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman, they still do it. It's maybe just not as egregious, or I don't know.
Not as egregious, or not as many stars.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they don't like list it out on a poster like they do. Where like literally the poster is like, look at this voice acting cast, and it's like there's not even any like key art or anything on the posters. It's just like a list of names. Yeah,
a list of names and the question mark cube.
Yeah, and that is kind of lame. I do agree. Did we go through all the people? So we got. No. We got Mario is Chris Pratt. We discussed that. Peach is Anya Taylor-Joy. I think that's a really solid pick. I'm okay with that.
I don't know if I've seen her in a whole lot. I know she's in like Queen's Gambit, and she's going to be in Last Night in Soho. But
sure. She was in the New Mutants movie,
which I didn't see.
It's okay. It's
just for laughs. Just for laughs, I did not see it after how long it was delayed and how long it was being made. All these delays, like, are you going to see it? No.
Yeah, She's okay. Yeah,
But
she's the best part of that movie.
Like Peach was a role that I expected to be cast as like a celebrity because they're not just gonna have her be like,
Ooh, yeah, exactly. That is something that could do for a rebrand, I suppose.
What this movie does set up is that if it's successful, they could have like sequels and spin-offs where like, oh, Mario Kart, the movie, and bring in Vin Diesel. Like it's all about the Koopa family.
He would have been a good Donkey Kong.
Yo, that'd be okay. I would like that actually.
That would actually be pretty good.
Yeah, that's like a celebrity casting I would have liked because he's like Groot and the Iron Giant, and
he is a voice actor. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because like I think the thing with Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, I think they'll like introduce Donkey Kong, like in this movie. They're like, oh look, Mario's friends with Donkey Kong, and he's like, can you believe we used to be enemies? And they'll make some sort of joke or whatever. But that could lead to a spin-off, like a Donkey Kong movie spin-off. Especially since they announced that Cranky Kong is going to be in the movie as well.
Yeah.
So like
with big budget Hollywood star Fred Armisen. Because everyone's going to see a movie because Fred Armisen is in it.
That's true. Like you could have gotten anyone else to play Cranky Kong.
Yeah, and like even like a lot of people a whole lot of people who would like to see Fred Armisen in movies, would they know who Cranky Kong is?
I don't know, man. I hope we get Groovy Kong, or Funky Kong.
Yeah,
I want Funky Kong.
Adam Driver as Waluigi.
Adam Driver as Daisy.
I see. That was the first ever thing I saw about this whole thing because the direct that day started at 3. That's when I went into work. And then like 4 hours later, I go on Facebook and everyone's like blowing up. And I'm like, I wonder what this is. And then I see your post of Adam Driver as Daisy. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, like Daisy Ridley? Because like Star Wars? But then I saw it. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, yeah. Like I could see them setting up a sequel though, just to take it back there. I could see them setting up like a bunch of sequels from this movie. Like we could have a Donkey Kong movie, and eventually we could have a Kirby movie, and they could totally create like a Mario animated cinematic universe.
Smash Brothers movie.
Yeah, and it could all lead up to a Smash Brothers movie. Like, no, I'm not even kidding. Like, this could totally happen. Where it's like
Kirby, voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Hell, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would have been a good Donkey Kong.
That's true. Yeah, actually, that would have
just been like this big, like lovable, like strong personality coming out of Donkey Kong. Now it's just bananas.
That's true. But I wonder.
See, I keep harping on that Seth Rogen laugh, even though I know he's capable of doing more and has done different kinds of roles. But he was brought in as Pumbaa just to be
Yeah, and I guarantee he's brought in for this just to be as well.
Yeah.
But I could see them playing up the fact that, the Donkey Kong we all know and love, right? From Donkey Kong 64, from, Donkey Kong Country games. That Donkey Kong is technically Donkey Kong Jr., right? And the one that's throwing barrels at Mario is
like Donkey Kong Senior.
That's Donkey Kong Senior. So I wonder if they'll play up the fact that this is Donkey Kong Jr. and we'll have a Donkey Kong Senior. And that's what I mean. Like, they could totally make a sequel to this movie, and it could become like a very like heartfelt father-son movie where they have to like come together.
With Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Donkey Kong and his red tie. Who else was there?
This son, I have a proud face. O-D-K. Donkey Kong. with DJ Khaled doing a cover of that for the credits.
Oh my God.
Another one. He's the leader of the bunch.
Holy shit. And then there's I guess we've covered Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong enough. Jack Black as Bowser. I'm okay with it. I think it's weird. It's goofy. I like it, actually.
Like,
I'm kind of into it, but I'm also a Jack Black stan. So
yeah. I just don't know what to really expect out of that. Like I have this feeling like they might like alter his voice so it's like deeper and more like growly. Because I can't really see Bowser like that design with like the like Tenacious D type voice coming out of it.
yeah. Well, I mean, and we've seen in yeah, because they totally. So in the new Tenacious D album, he does a character called Daddy Ding Dong. And he comes out and he's like, I am Daddy Ding Dong, and he does a weird like bad guy voice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, motherfucker, go!
They could totally do something like that with Jack Black, and that would be fun. Although it would be kind of fun to just see Jack Black being Bowser at the same time.
We covered Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser, Donkey Kong.
Those are kind of the big
that's
ones.
About it.
Toad is Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, like again, that for me is another telltale sign that that's how they're casting this movie, because Keegan-Michael Key is like in everything. He's like a voice in almost every movie now.
At the same time, though, that kind of proves that he is a voice actor at this point. He's done so many of these things that he's sort of like the anchor that's like, I'm the real voice actor here because I've done so many things. Like, he's even in like Rick and Morty for a while. Like, I mean, the dude's... I feel like...
I do like his Rick and Morty. Like, do you know what they do to fourth dimensional beings in time prison? Same thing they do in every other prison, only forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Keegan-Michael Key at this point is sort of a voice actor, right? Like he's done so many of these movies and he's been in so many television shows.
But like, are they casting him because he's a good fit for Toad as we know him, or a good fit for how they're going to write Toad, or like because of the personality he is that he brings to the table? Like I see people saying that like, are they going to give Toad like a black scent?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Toad having some of the voices he did in like Key and Peele bits.
Yeah, it's not exactly my first choice when I think of Toad. Like when I think of Toad, I think of just like a really annoying, like
yeah, princess is in another castle. But
yeah,
like every voice I've seen Keegan-Michael Key in, he's just doing his regular Keegan-Michael Key bit. Like
that is
he was
true.
He was in that Warner Brothers Storks movie as like one of the wolves, and he's just doing his Key and Peele bit. He was in the Lion King remake too as one of the hyenas with Eric Andre, just again doing his same bit. He was in Toy Story 4 as like one of these stuffed animals, again with Jordan Peele, just doing like their Key and Peele bit. So they're casting Keegan-Michael Key to have Keegan-Michael Key, not to have a particular take on Toad.
Yeah, and I almost feel like Toad is probably gonna be a joke.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like 3 scenes where they make fun of him,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you're right. It does seem like Keegan kind of plays the same character every time. It's true. I guess when I think of Toad, I would have picked like, I don't even know who I would have picked. I probably would have picked a female, right?
Yeah.
Because he's got like a really high voice.
But yeah, like Tara Strong or somebody to do.
Yeah,
like
that would have
like
been
a more masculine voice, like a Timmy Turner, or like the first thing coming to mind, she was Truffles on Chowder, like the wife of Mung Daal, and she does a very kind of that kind of voice. So I see more of that as Toad, like mixing that with like a Timmy Turner, like masculine voice.
Yeah, or you could have even, someone who's proved herself as like a pretty good voice actor in the like one, or in the few things she's done. Sarah Silverman, like,
yeah,
in Wreck-It Ralph, she definitely puts on like a voice. It's not her voice, and then she's also in Bob's Burgers as the twins or whatever, and she's actually really good. I think she's actually a really good voice actor. So she would have
get Kristen Shaw to be Toad.
That would be really good. Yeah, but Kristen Shaw, who is a voice actor at this point, right?
Yeah. Like, exactly. There's like people that are prominent names and prominent celebrities that have turned into voice actors for like either shows like Rick and Morty or Bob's Burgers, or like various animated roles. But
like
the
Kristen
way they're
Shaw,
casting this one is more like bigger names that have done only like a couple animated voices.
right? But like Kristen Shaw, just to bring it back to Keegan Michael Key, where he does the same voice and everything. Kristen Shaw does the same voice and everything, also, and also in Bob's Burgers,
She's Louise.
J. Jonah.
John H. Benjamin.
Yeah, not J. Jonah Jameson, but yeah.
But see,
he does the same voice and everything.
Like that's another kind of voice acting where like you either cast a voice actor because of how many, like the variety and how many different kinds of voices they can do. That's why you get like your Frank Welkers or your Jim Cummings. But there's other voice actors that you get because they have a very particular voice that sounds good, like John H. Benjamin or Dante Bosco, which they do a lot of the same voice, but they play it in different characters. Like Zuko from Avatar sounds different than American Dragon Jake Long. They have a similar voice, but they have different like performance and attitude. And like with Kristen Shaw, like Mabel from Gravity Falls is way different than Louise from Bob's Burgers. Same voice, just different performance. Where like Keegan Michael Key turns in very much the same kind of voice and performance in a lot of the voices he does.
What's his name? John H. Benjamin? That's his name?
Or like H. John Benjamin.
H.
Like,
John.
oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good impression.
Really?
You know, Bob and Coach
H. John Benjamin.
Bob and Coach McGurk are kind of the same character.
Oh man,
Archer is very different though, and you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Like during the first months of the lockdown, I spent binge watching all of Home Movies, and I fucking love it.
I love that show
because I had never seen it in full before.
You poured sugar in Pendlehurst gas tank?
No, some other kids did, but we ended up getting caught.
So what's the punishment?
He's making us do this scared straight thing at the prison he used to work at.
Scared straight? You're already straight.
I'm already scared.
I've been to the can a few times, Brendan. That's what we call it, the can.
Yeah.
So when you're there, you call it the can, all right?
What do you call cans in prison?
You mean actual cans?
Yeah.
Like food?
Yeah.
Cans of food?
Yeah.
Those are still cans.
I love that show. Well, I mean, I guess we've talked Mario enough. Final thoughts. You got the floor. Final thoughts.
Just same reaction I got when seeing the Lion King remake cast. Just going down like, nope, fine, I guess. Get them the fuck out of here. But amplified in this one, like Chris Pratt, get him the fuck out of there. Put in some more like seasoned voice actors, or like cast more for the character, not for the role, not for the celebrity.
My final thoughts are it doesn't matter that much because the video games still exist and the video games won't go away. They'll probably make this one movie. It'll either be a success or it won't. And my bet is on it won't be a success. Because
no, sorry, you go.
I feel like Mario as a property is a big draw when it comes to video games. But when it comes to anything else, I don't think he is. And I don't think your voice cast is going to save it. But it might.
I do think it will be a success in the very technical sense, because Illumination's movies famously are made on the cheap compared to like Disney and Pixar. So that way they're able to net bigger profits because the budget is so small. And a lot of them miraculously make like $1 billion, like the Minions and Super Life of Pets movies. So from a financial standpoint, I do think it will be a success, and at least will break even enough to make a sequel or two.
We'll see.
I mean, like they have a deal with Universal, and Universal has the Nintendo Land coming up, so it better be a success to drive like theme park sales.
Yeah, I think what's more important there though is like that the video game sales remain high, which they've remained high forever.
Despite a movie, but I can't wait for a game based on this movie, based on the games.
I don't
So
think.
do you want to buy?
I don't think Nintendo.
Do you want to buy the
will
game
let that
based
happen.
on the movie, based on the game? They've
Nintendo,
done it. They've done it before.
Nintendo's,
Do you want to get the Battleship board game based on the movie, based on the board game?
yeah, but like Nintendo's level of quality when it comes to their games, like they won't let that happen. You know, they've got like their games are very specific. You know, they won't let a bad game come out. That's not their thing.
Especially for Mario.
Yeah, I think like the Mario Land, if we want to get into that real quick, like I think Mario Land is going to be successful if this movie is successful or not because of the video games.
I know I want to go.
Yeah, I do too. And I think like if you look at the MPD numbers, which we talk about every month on the Loner Gamecast, which everyone should watch live Mondays at 3:30. We talk about the MPD numbers, and every single month. And this game, let me tell you, this game is 6 years old. But every single month, top 10 games, Mario Kart is on there. Every single month.
Which one?
Mario Kart 8.
Or like
Deluxe.
Oh, Mario Kart 8. Okay.
Yeah. The one for Switch. It's always it's always a best-selling game. Every single time. So like I don't think it matters if this movie is successful or not. For the theme park, although I'm sure they're like, it'd be nice if it was, because it would drive more people, especially kids, to go. Because I do think a lot of the people who play Mario games, if they like to admit it or not, are a bunch of sweaty nerds like me. So, anyway, let's wrap this up. I've been Jake. Austin, why don't you, Mr. Collider himself, why don't you give yourself some plugs? Plug yourself.
Sure. My name is Austin Allison, AT Allison on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm freelance artist, freelance writer for Collider.com. So that's me.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.